Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Geauxgreddy. If you're back today and you like these videos, ask that you hit the like button, and if you really like the videos, go ahead and subscribe. But if not, no big deal. Or if you want to leave comments, what you want to see in the future, let me know. Today we'll be doing the FIA Manufacturers Cup on GT Sport, and we are at Autopolis today as I pit in for my warm-up lap in the Lexus RCF. So that's my manufacturer's choice for the season. I got a top 5 finish last race, and I'm hoping to repeat or improve upon that as I smash into the Neville 45 from behind. I wanted to show these Porsches that I was here, and I meant business, because there were a lot of Porsches in this race, and I felt a little outnumbered. So, I got to stick my elbows out a little bit, let those guys know that I'm out here ready to race, even though I'm probably going to get slaughtered by them. But that's okay, because you don't get faster if you don't try. So I was a little nervous coming into this. I don't know why. I was just nervous today. I think it was because my first race I got disconnected, so that was kind of a bummer. I was all ready for the race, I've been practicing a little bit after I got home from work, and I ran up like a 146, which was my best time, and I was like all pumped, and I was ready to get in the race, and it was that time, and it fades in to get the room ready, and boom, disconnected, and you're like, ah. So then when this one came around, I just didn't quite feel as prepared. So anyway, I don't know, I was still just as prepared or underprepared. But again, we're at Autopolis. Not my favorite track. Not that I don't mind like doing like maybe a 5-lap race on this track or so, but I gotta tell you, after about the 7th lap, this track is kind of mesmerizing. Because it's all these sweeping corners, and you just kind of feel like you've been there before, and I don't know. Hard to explain. For me anyway, it's a pretty difficult track for me. I had a difficult time at the end maintaining concentration. So I'm hoping just to improve my driver rating today and get a little bit better result than last time, or the same, even in top 5 I'd be happy with. So I've been struggling a little bit of late with qualifying. I know that's hard to believe. I know that I'm usually just so fast that, that qualifying shouldn't be a problem, but it has been. It really, really has been a problem. I either run into cars that are slower than me, or I don't pay attention, and I get in the way of other people, and then I feel bad. And anyway, so it's always a mess. And so today I was really trying to concentrate on getting a good qualifying lap in. Now, like I said, I practiced, and I got a 146, I think 8.45 or something like that was my best lap. So I was hoping to get within a second or two of that. Usually if I get within a second or two of my fastest practice times, it's pretty good. So here I let Carlisle by, because he looked like he was ready to get going. He wanted to get up there with his Porsche buddies, I guess. They're having a little Porsche track fest, a little track night for the Porsche club here in front of me. All these 911s. Not that I dislike Porsches. In real life, I would very much like a Porsche, but I just can't afford a Porsche. So anyway, so let him by. Trying to burn some fuel here, get the car a little bit lighter, so that I can get a good, as one of our YouTubers, Tijani, would call it, a good banker's lap. So I'm gonna try and lay down a good banker's lap. Put it in the old checking account, and hopefully it comes out all right. So, like I said, burning fuel, coming around the track. So this next lap coming up, I try to get up to race pace around the 2nd or 3rd to last corner, so that I don't wear my tires out too much before I get there, but get kind of into the rhythm of the track before I get going on my fast lap, my hot lap. So got a few more corners to go. I'll probably start turning it up about right here. Again, you can't just go flying into these corners braking later. It's going to be painful for you. They are all, it seems like they're all off camber, and you're trying to get on the gas too early and you'll just spin out. So get up to speed here. Like I said, trying to set a good qualifying lap. I look for the 100-meter board on the left, which is actually, for me, for some reason, really kind of hard to see on this track. I don't know if it's just the time of day, but I really struggle to see it. So missed my apex there. Really went wide on this lap in the first corner anyway. But that's all right. I gathered it back up, composed myself, and tried to just basically keep it tight, hit the apex like I did there, come back, keep it inside, hit my apexes. And I'm kind of looking at number 5 and seeing, well, maybe if I can run down this Neville 45 fella, that'll give me a good qualifying time. So I'm trying to pretend a little bit like I'm in race, try and get a fast time, and get a good starting position. That's a lot of how well you end up doing in the race is based on your qualifying. I did really well last race. I qualified in position 13, which was not very good at all, but managed a 5th place finish, which, you know, moving up 8 spots. Even a B lobby, you know, I mean, it's not like we're in the S lobby or A+ lobby, but just for me, that's good. I mean, you're moving up 8 spots is pretty good. So Neville runs off. Was that DH man? I couldn't tell who that was. He just ran off there. I'm sure whoever that was wasn't very happy with that. So Neville trying to get through there, just putting down a little faster lap, but I'm sure whoever flew off the track was not appreciative of that. So anyway, so I use a slipstream since it's there, and I put in a 149 almost flat, which is not a very good time, to be honest with you. I would have liked something in the 147s, 148s, but it is what it is. So here I take this corner a little bit better, a little late on the gas, but I'm nervous. My heart's pounding right here, you know, palms are sweating, and I'm like thinking, just stay on the track, lay down a good time, stay on the track. This is my banker lap. So, you know, right now I'm sitting in P5, still a good bit of the field to come through. But as you can see, I'm kind of running down Neville here, and I was kind of thinking if I really started to pick up the pace, maybe I would keep this lap and then pit next lap, because really there's one extra in qualifying that you get. But Neville kind of slowed me down that corner right there, so I was like, I'll just burn some fuel and go in and put on some fresh tires and come out and try it again. One thing I've learned is that you want to get as many laps in on the lighter car than you do on the heavier car, so you never know when you're going to run into somebody. So right now Neville is sitting in 11th. His qualifying time is down there somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. CBC 0724. He's in first. Carlisle 512. P2. Big Red 3 Biggin. Some of these names I have no idea where they came up with. But he's sitting there 6th. I let CNF by here. He looked like he was trying to maybe do a qualifying lap, so I gave him some room, let him by. Just kind of paying attention to my rear view so I didn't ruin anybody's qualifying lap. I was trying not to. So I should run into the pit here, literally. I forget that it has this bend in it. Whoops. Oh, yeah, that thing. So I get a penalty, go to the pit, which is, I'm glad I did it then, so that I wouldn't do it during the race, because that would have really sucked. But so look at that. Look at that beautiful lime green, yellow, red, white, and blue Lexus. I mean, if that doesn't scream race car, I don't know what does. With chrome grille, of course, because it's a luxury car. So, you know, you got to have a little touch of luxury on the Lexus. I mean, after all, I'm racing Porches in a family sedan, so it's all good. It's, you know, kind of mirrors my real life autocross. You know, I race my 4-door family sedan hybrid against Porsches and Camaro SS's and, you know, things like that. Can't be afraid, people. You just got to dive in there. Just go for it. So here I am with my 1.5 second penalty coming out of the pits for running into the pit wall. Not that running into the pit wall itself during the race isn't enough punishment. The game has to add another 1.5 seconds on there. So I stay out here because I wasn't sure if Krusty was trying to run a hot lap. So after the hair, Krusty decides to eat the wall there. I guess he wasn't happy with his lap, and he just exited stage right. So I was at stage left. I have no idea. He went to the right and hit the wall. So that's not going to be a good qualifying time for him. Anyway, so we move on. I let by This guy, 6434, whatever his name is, looks like he's sitting in P15, burning some fuel. Going around these last few corners. Got about 2 minutes of qualifying left, so I've got a chance here to hopefully lay down a good quick lap. All right, second to last corner is a big sweeping right, and really want to get on the gas here and hit that apex. I did pretty good there. I probably could have got on the gas a little bit earlier. And this is where I'm hoping to lay down my really fast lap. I'm in P10 right now, which is not very good at all. Hit my brake marker there at the 100. Try and get on the apex. A little better there, but still missed it a bit. Probably could have got on the gas a little bit earlier, but again, I didn't want to fly off the track. I just wanted to set a good time. Again, hit the brakes right there by the asphalt. Try and get on the apex. Do a little better job there. Should have been in second gear. Giving a little more gas through here. Get back on the brake. I keep it tight on this hairpin. I'm not trying to carry too much speed in here. It's going to kill your tires. So I'm not one of these super fast alien drivers. I'm just trying to save my tires and stay clean and get to the end of the race. So that's my goal. Usually if I can do that, I place pretty well. Maybe one day I'll be really fast and just be able to do everything. But until then, that's how I approach it. Again, just try and get on my apex on this hairpin and get in the slipstream of that guy in front of me. That guy, yeah, right there, number 13, that guy. And hopefully pick up a little extra time by being in his slipstream. Of course, the danger is that you run into the back of him and you lose time. So I am kind of catching up to him here. I could have probably gone a little more full throttle towards the end, but I was really kind of running in on him, so I let off. But that's all right. Those things happen. He's getting a little loose there in those corners. If you can get a top 5, top 6 qualifying time, you're usually going to finish pretty well in the race. That's really all I'm aiming for here. Is be able to hang with the tough guys. As that guy it gets sucked off the track. No good there. So I'm running 148.5. That's not terrible. It moves me back up to P6. I'm pretty happy with that right now. I'm thinking, hey, I got 2 minutes and 8 seconds or so remaining. I can possibly lay down another hot lap as I go sliding sideways to that corner, ruining all my chances. Really feel bad for that guy back there. He got sucked into the wall. Man, you get your tires on the grass, and it is often game over. Especially if you find the skinny pedal at the same time your tires find the grass. That's usually a bad formula, pretty much formula for disaster. A little bit off my line there. I like to be a little closer to that curb right through there, but that's all right. Not too terrible. Don't watch my laps to try and determine how to go fast. That might be what you're doing. I don't think it is. You're probably just watching the replay of the race, but I'm not the fastest out there. Just from real life autocrossing and listening to podcasts, I know that car position is extremely important to setting fast lap times. And if you watch me, my car is not in the right position at all times. I work on it, but it's just so easy to brake late. I'm just a habitual late breaker. I was for about the first 4 months in autocross. There's something in me that will not allow me to brake early. So it's always something that it's a personal struggle that I have. I'm trying to break the habit, trying to set up my corners and get my car position correct so I can get on the gas earlier. But even watching this game, I can see I'm not doing it all the time. So anyway, place for me to improve. So finished it out with a 148.2, I think it was. Maybe it was 148.5. I can't remember. But anyway, that puts me in P7 to start the race, which is much better than my last start at P13. So I will take it. But if you look in front of me, that's right. It is the 9/11 Partay. It is a festival of 9/11s, folks. That's right. If you don't have a 9/11, don't bother and come knocking on the door. You will be rejected. It's just me and the Huracan. Hey, look, we got a Vantage there. And hey, that's pretty cool. The McLaren F1 right behind him. But a whole lot of Porsches. Whole lot of Porsches. So going to the lobby, some folks, of course, clean race, have a good race. It's all good. Excited to get started. I think even make a joke in here at one point about where are all the 911s? Yeah, I'm a very, very slow typer. Don't typically do very good job of time. I don't use a keyboard or anything like that. I just use the controller, so not real quick. I do use a wheel to drive. I don't use the pad. I used to use the pad when I first started back in Gran Turismo 1, I think the 90s, whenever that was. I did Gran Turismo 1 and 2, and then after 2, I never played the race sim games, Gran Turismo series at all until my buddies hooked me up on the GT Sport, and that's Semla GT Sport. The other videos you see there, those are all of my autocross friends, and every Monday night we get together and race online and have a good time, laugh, cry, yell at each other. The nice thing there is you can't be too big of a jerk because you'd have to see those people in real life, so they can punch you in the nose if they don't like the way you drove against them. So not that any of them would do that. It's some good guys, some real good guys. And here we are with the FIA Gran Turismo Championship intro. And that is the trophy I will never be lifting over my head. Oh no, that's not true. I shouldn't be such a negative Nanny. Is it negative Nanny or negative Nancy? It's probably negative Nancy. Or maybe negative Nelly. I don't know. If you know, feel free to comment. Let me know. All right, first place, CBC 072. Second, Carlisle 512. He's the 7th rated driver in the lobby. Third, we have Big Red 93 Biggin. He's the 5th rated in the lobby. Number 4, Nibble, raced against Nibble before. He's a pretty good driver, pretty clean guy, 13th rated. Neville 45. Raced against him, I think, once before. Not quite sure. So 6th, and in 6th, JKU Willis. I got a TJ. Good job, JKU Willis. Geauxgreddy there in 7th. I'm the 12th rated driver in the lobby. That's a beautiful livery. iMonarch in 8th, 3rd rated driver. CNF DH Man in 9th, 16th rated driver in the F1. Was that the F1? Yeah. Exl Alexander, followed by Mata Minor, whatever that was. Not 3rd right, in 12th, 19th rated driver in the Toyota. Stack of Bibles in 13th in the WRX. There's that guy that ate the wall. That's him right there in 14th. Mike W24, number 15th in a Porsche, way back in 15th. What you doing back there? Your buddies all up front. Bromwich 13th, number 1 rated driver in the lobby in 16th position. Race the Sunset 33 in 17th. Krusty Niners in 18th in the Budweiser, what was that, a GTR? I didn't see it. Anyway, CNF Stag in 19th. So here we go. The race is getting started. This is where I make my money. Not really. We don't make any money doing this. Probably lose a lot of money. It's a good thing I don't gamble. I'd probably lose more money. All right, so we're all just looking for a clean start here. I've got my eyes a little bit in the rear view mirror. That started me in a weird position. I couldn't be full throttle because I had the wheel turned slightly, so I knew if I came out in full throttle, it would blow the rear end out, so I get sucked in by the Aston, or was that the Jag? I can never tell them apart. And he bumps me a little bit wide there. That's all right. I handled it like a man. Took my position loss. Meanwhile, I have another vehicle on the inside right of me. Broke a little late there because I was paying attention to him and not my brake marker. Then Monarch runs wide, or Madaginner runs wide, whatever his name is. The gentleman behind me gives up the position, lets me through. That was very kind of him not to press that inside line. I appreciated that right through there. I want to settle into the race right now. Managed to get through the first 3 corners without getting knocked off the track. I'm still in P7, and all is well. CNF in front of me kind of came in out of nowhere, but that was all right. It's okay. I can live with that too. You know, it's just time to race. The only problem is that Huracan and that F1 are really fast in a straight line. So I've got to catch them in the corners in hopes of being able to stay with on the straight. Now, the Lexus isn't terrible in the straight. I mean, if I'm in someone's slipstream, I do marvelous. It does fine on its own, generally speaking, but, you know, running down an F1 and a Huracan is just, it's not meant for that. So trying to get into, I'm 0.6 seconds here coming in the last couple corners. If I can get a good exit, I can really get in their slipstream and even make a run on them if I get in tight enough. But they get a little better exit than I do and pull on me coming out the final corner, which really sucks because even in the slipstream, they're just gonna leave me in the dust. You know, the F1 is in the Huracan slipstream and they're gone. So try again, you know, that's all you can do. Take that apex, get on the gas, head towards corner 2. Yeah, I'm gonna brake here by the asphalt. Try and get a good corner, try and suck in the back end of that F1. CNF doing a good job, racing really good right through here. Gets a little wide right there. Brakes late. I'm thinking, man, I could almost make a run on him now, but you know, it would have been a mega dive bomb from super lunge from hell if I even tried that. So here I try and stay tight and get a good exit and get another run at him. He is in that rocket ship, so he's not having too much trouble staying out in front. But I've whittled that down to about 0.5. Now, I did take note here. I noted that I could really outbrake him on these hairpins. I guess that F1 just doesn't have as good of brakes. So I did take note of that. I'll put it in the old memory banks for later. Also, you know, obvious, I noticed that I was handling these corners a little better. I was taking them a little tighter than he was. He was tending to drift out on them a bit. And I don't know if that's the car, if that's just the way he likes to take the corners. I wasn't sure, but I took note of the braking. He certainly has a straight line speed on me, or she, whoever CNF is. But I'm guessing it's a he because it's CNF DH man and not CNF DH woman. So I'm safe to say it's a man. We'll go there. We'll say man. All right, so now I'm within 0.6 seconds coming out of that corner. Had a pretty good exit. I'm thinking I'm going to run them down, and no, those 2 cars continued to pull on me on this straight. I couldn't believe it. So again, I'm going to try and run them down the curves. Now, if you notice, CNF here is getting in on JKU. Now, JKU may be thinking about off-road here. So, and 4-door Jeeps, you know, they're big lumbering vehicles. He gets loose in that corner with a little help of CNF. I'm thinking of squirting it in the inside, and I said, nah, I'll pull out. And for good cause, as CNF and JKU get into it again, so I go ahead and pass up CNF and try and make a run in on JKU. Now, I know the Huracane's going to go through tires quicker than me, so I'm thinking just keep driving smart. You'll catch him lap 4, lap 5. So that was my goal. And I looked at that and I was like, he's kind of leaving that door open just like the F1 was through there. So again, put it in the old memory banks. Maybe I'll be able to take advantage of a braking zone somewhere. Obviously, I don't want to hit anybody and run them off the track, as I almost ran myself off the track right there. It was probably the biggest save of the race for me, was that spot right there. I was kind of gripping. My sphincter was so tight I probably could have, made diamonds out of coal. But I kept her on the track and stayed in the race. I mean, I'm 0.3 seconds behind the Huracan coming in through here. So heading into the final few turns before the straight, again, I just got to get a good run out the corner, so I take a little deeper line, a little later apex, and I get loose. I'm pissed at myself. I just needed a good exit. 0.7 seconds back, and again, that Huracan is just leaving me on the straight. Even in the slipstream, I cannot pull on that darn thing. good break coming into here, really make a good run on him. I'm thinking maybe his tires are starting to leave him now. He's been driving him pretty hard. He had that little incident with CNF back there, so maybe they're hurting a little bit, and I'm noticing he's really struggling there into these corners. So I'm kind of smiling on the inside a little bit. I'm thinking I'll be able to make a move at some point up here. Got a long ways to go, so I don't want to press it. And I know those Porsches are all running faster than me qualifying time, so it's pretty unlikely that I'm going to make a big run at them. But you never know. So here I get a really good exit, and I'm making a good run on him. I'm in the slipstream, and I'm thinking, all right, he's braking late. I'm going to go to go to the inside. He leaves the door wide open. I cut it down in. It's a clean pass. Good job to JKU. He runs me down in the straight anyway, even though I got a good exit coming out the corner. The Huracan's fast. JKU gives me a little bump there. I kind of giggled when it happened because I was like, I can't believe he just ran me down after I made that pass. But he wasn't a jerk about it or anything. He wasn't like he was coming to get payback. It was fine, and I didn't get an SR down, so I was pretty happy about that too. It's funny, someone like bump drafts or something, you get an SR down. It's not really funny. It kind of sucks, but we were good there. So that was a good racing, JKU. Appreciate it. So now I got my sights set on Neville 45. Now he's been running pretty solid laps from what I can tell. I haven't been doing too bad. If you look over on the right, you can see my laps that I've run. I've run a 157 for my out lap, then a 148, a 150, and a 149. Of course, we're in traffic doing all that, so that's not terrible considering the traffic that we're in. Taking some precautions not to hit people. Obviously, faster would be better. This is not A+ lap times, but for a B lobby, not too bad. Consistent's really what I'm going for, and keeping fairly quick and consistent, I'll be pretty happy. Neville takes these set of corners pretty good. He takes a nice line through here. He's really, putting his car where it needs to be. I'm about a second behind him. I think he's maybe just hadn't settled into the race yet, because I was behind him earlier when we were just warming up, and I was having trouble keeping up with him. So I'm thinking maybe his nerves are getting a little to him, so I was trying to put some pressure on him, because I know I was a little nervous even, we're in lap 5. This is pit lap. If I can get him to make a mistake here on worn tires, I might be able to take advantage of that. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. So I'm pitting at the end of lap 5. I know the Porsches do a lot better on tires than I do. So I don't know if they're going to pit lap 5 or if they're going to go one more, stay out, go lap 6 and then pit. I'm not sure what the Porsche strategy is, but for me, if I go one more with this heavy car, my tires are going to be toast. So coming around through the last corners, I make the decision that I'm going into the pits. Right now I have my brake balance at -1. I did some testing at -5, and they weren't much better at -5 brake balance than they were at -1, so I said screw it. I'm just going to go with -1, and Neville really slows down there going into the pit, and luckily I didn't get a penalty. So sorry about that, Neville. I didn't mean to hit it from the rear, big guy. So we're going to the pit. Look at my pit crew. These guys are a well-oiled machine. I mean, look at them. They're just chilling, like no big deal. Slam on 4 new tires. Took no fuel. Came right back out on Neville's rear end. I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm thinking, okay, he went 5, and I was there with him the whole time. I might be able to get a position on him. Now he leaves the door open here. I make a run on him on the inside, and here the game started getting glitchy on me. So he's bouncing around all over the place, and I can't tell where he is, and it's very disconcerting when you're trying to, look at him. He's like glitching on me, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fly off the track or lose my race by trying to maintain that spot. I'll just back off, let him go out in front of me until the game kind of resets. Now you can see on the left, everything just kind of flashed back up, and everything got smooth again. I'm like, of course it gets glitchy when I'm making it fast and then smooths back out right afterwards. But so you got lucky, Neville. It's a lucky day, because if I'd have put the big fat Lexus in front of you, you spent all day trying to get around it. but it didn't happen. That's all right. It's all good. So really, honestly, I'm just trying to hang out in Neville's slipstream here and just hang with him because he's running good laps. And if I can hang with him, running good laps. Again, here's Carlisle. He made it into the pits, our leader. He's jumping in on medium tires. So he's going to have 1 lap fresher tires than me and Neville the rest of the race. So very little chance we're going to catch him as I make a big mistake right there. That was probably the second biggest mistake of the race, getting the rear end loose right there. That really let Neville get out on me. He gets out 1.8 seconds or so I'm not in the slipstream anymore. Big Red and Nibble go in, the other 2 Porsches, and they also go on medium tires. Not the third right went in, put on hards. CNF came in and put on mediums. So fortunately for me, Nibble comes out of the pits right in front of me, and I got CNF right behind me, all with fresh tires. So I'm thinking this is not good. So I'm hoping the 2 in front of me battle, and I can kind of stay in the race, and somehow I can keep CNF from passing me because he's got fresher tires than I do. So if you look down left by my speedometer, you can see my tires right now. So we're on lap 7. So this is the 2nd lap. So with lap 6, now on lap 7. So this is the 2nd lap on these tires. So they're looking pretty good. I'm keeping them up pretty nice. I'm not trying to throw the car around too much. Trying to be smooth, trying to just hit my apexes and get on the throttle gradually. Because I know I'm going to need these tires in the best shape possible for the 6th lap, because that's usually when the guys who came in on hard tires at some point or are on some other weird different pit strategy will start running you down. And if you got 0 tires left, there's no way you can really defend against them, even if you're planting your car on the apex. So trying to take care of my tires, and lucky me, look at this, 3 wide going through the corner. That guy, Neville and Nibble, just battling it out. I slipped to the inside of that guy here. He probably should have seen me to the inside. I set my car there. That was my position. He either didn't have his radar on, he didn't see him. I mean, he just had 2 guys go by him, but that guy was on I think he was about to go into the pits here, so his tires were really, really struggling through there. No hard feelings, that guy, and hopefully the same. You don't feel them towards me. I was just put my car to the inside well before the corner, so I thought maybe he'd see me in there, but he didn't. That's all right. I stayed on the track. Looked like you stay on the track, so all's well. So that puts me in 5th. So here I am in P5 on lap 8. I'm thinking this isn't too bad, and I've got Neville and Nibble battling in front of me in the Porsche 911s. So hopefully they're struggling. They're kind of taking bad lines, tearing up the tires a little bit because the Porsches are so good on the tires anyway. Any help I can get, I'll take. But I'm thinking P5 is where I'll end up. That'll be my position, and CNF's about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds behind me, and I'm just putting tenths here on them, tenths there on them, just slowly pulling away, and not really pulling in the Porsches, not really getting dusted by them either, but staying at a steady distance back behind them. I'm just kind of hanging out here in no man's land, just trying not to get sucked off the track. This track will lull you to sleep. It will mesmerize you. You are constantly on the gas, even just a little bit here and there, or you're coasting. You're light on the brakes. You're rarely heavy on the brakes. And it's just kind of all sweeping corners, and it just kind of mesmerizes me. I don't know. But by this lap, I was kind of having to shake my head a little bit to stay focused. So, fairly good exit out of this corner. And about 1.5 seconds behind these guys, but I'm pulling on them through here. Now they're pulling on me. I'm not sure how that happened, but I guess because they're in each other's slipstream. So, leader's about 16 seconds out in front with 2 laps to go. And big mistake by Neville. Couldn't believe it. The guy had run such a good race up to that point. Even with the pressure I was putting on him, I guess the pressure from Nibble was just too much. With that pink-colored Porsche on his back bumper was just too much for him to handle. Which really sucks for him because, like I said, he was having a good race up to that point. But hey, I'll take it. I will take the free position and I will put it in the bank. Yes, I will. So now all I need to do is run down Nibble, who's on a 1 lap set of fresher tires, and he's in a Porsche 911. No problem. We're going to do this. We're going to put our head down and we're going to go for P3 here. We're going to get a podium. I can't even think about, I don't even know if I've ever been on the podium in an FIA race. I mean, I've won like 3 daily races. Never won an FIA race. So, can we get on a podium? I don't know. It's not looking good because he's steadily pulling on us. And if you look at my tires, they're actually almost the same as they were at the end of lap 5 in the first stint, which to me was a little shocking because the car was heavier. So you would think they wouldn't be as worn, but I'm running a little faster laps too. I'm running 1, 2, 3 in a row. 149s are better. So I'm kind of wondering if that's what's affecting. There I go. I'll lay down another 149. Very consistent times. I'm very happy with that. Like I said, they weren't quite as fast as I would like them to be, but they were very consistent, which is really what you need here. So we got 2 laps to go. We're on lap 10. And, CNF's about 2.5 seconds behind me here. Nibble's about 3, and he's pulling on me. Clearly his tires are holding up a little better than mine. It's a good race by Nibble. He's putting in a good race, solid race, laying down, lots of laps. And if I remember correctly, wasn't he run off the track at the beginning of the race? I may be wrong. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was someone else. But anyway, so a good race for Nibble. I think the last race, the one that he was in with me, he struggled just a hair. But we all have our bad races, that's for sure. So, Carlisle 512 is leading the pack. Big Red right behind him. And then me in the Lexus in 4th. Not the Third Reich in 5th. Neville 45, who, like I said, really ran a good race up until that last corner there, 6th. CBC 0724 in 7th. CNF DH Man in 8th. Not Third Reich is in Toyota, if I remember correctly. So he's about 6 seconds back, and he has on hard tires. So I was thinking about that. I was like, well, I'm 5 seconds behind and losing time to Nibble, and I'm 6 seconds in front of not the Third Reich, who's on hards, and I'm staying about 5-6 right now. I'm like, this last lap, I've got to run a really bad lap, and then he's got to run a really good lap. So this is my granny lap right here. So I'm thinking I just need to finish. I'm not going to catch Nibble, and unless he flies off the track, I'm not going to pass him up. I brake way early, roll it into this corner, and then slowly get back on the throttle. I did not want to lose in that corner. It's off camber, it's blind. It's so easy to mess that corner up. Here, I brake, at the asphalt. I knew my braking spot there. This corner is not really a problem for me, so I kind of tried to keep it about the same. Took it easy around here. I'm letting off. Give it a little throttle. Get on the brakes. Just hang out around here. The car's pushing like you would not believe right now anyway. So no need to push it any harder and push it right off the track. Even here, I'm letting off. And I'm trying to give it gas, get the rear end to kind of sweep out on me. And it won't. It's just not. It's just pushing the front tires. So, I got to take what the car will give me. So it's called brake early and try and get on the apex. Even as early as I broke there, I couldn't turn in time. I don't know. Maybe I didn't turn in soon enough. But severely worn tires, never fun to drive on. Again, I take this corner super slow because remember, this is where I had my moment earlier. I didn't want to have another moment. So I took it super slow. You can almost go full throttle into here, and I was way off the throttle. Let's see. So, not the Third Reich is probably caught up about 2 seconds on me on this lap. I'm just putting around the track. My last lap was a 152, which was awful. So, I've given up the podium at this point, and I'm just going to keep my 4th place and be happy with it. So here I come down the last straight. Carlisle's in for the win. Big Red's in 2nd. Nibble's in 3rd. Geauxgreddy comes across for 4th. Not the Third Reich will take 5th place. Yes, he will. Neville 45 after bending it in the corner, doing the bottle job. Sorry, Neville. Comes in 6th. CBC in 7th. The McLaren F1 CNF in 8th. Stack of Bibles at WRX takes 9th. Maddog, whatever that is, in the GTR in 10th. Krusty Niners in the M6 in the 11th. Mike, the lowest placed 911 in 12th. That guy. And Monarch in the V12 Vantages in 13th and 14th. So, it was a pretty fun race. I enjoyed it. I was sweating afterwards. I mean, this track is, I don't know, it's just demanding on the brain. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. Like I said, if you like the video, hit subscribe. Hit like, but don't do either. Doesn't really matter, but hopefully you like them. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. I'll be back on Saturday. I'm going to do another FIA race. I may do it live. And we'll also be, Senla GT Sport will be on Monday nights if you want to tune into a live event with the guys on Monday night. Usually we do a group chat then. So feel free to come and join us. And, like I said, hope you enjoy the videos. Hope you got something out of it. This is Geauxgreddy. Y'all have a good evening.